I asked a lot of people. Alan told you to drive. Julian, do you want to jump in? Pauline, do you want to jump in? I was going to get a couple of kids in. At the front.
There's going to be speeches.
वाहिगुरू जी का खालसा वाहिगुरू जी की फतेह। संगत जी बाहर मौसम की खराबी करके ਆਪਾਂ ਸੱਜ ਕੇ ਖੜੇ ਹੋਈਏ, ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਨੂੰ ਲੰਘ ਜਾਈਏ ਜੀ। ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਨਾਲ, ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਜੀ। ਸਾਰੇ ਜਣੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਤੱਕ ਹੋ ਸਕੇ ਖੜ ਜਾਈਏ, ਆਰਾਮ ਨਾਲ ਖੜ ਜਾਈਏ ਜੀ। ਬਹਿਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ, ਆਪਾਂ ਖਲੋਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ। ਆਪਣਾ ਲੰਬਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ, ਇੱਥੇ ਦਾ ਛੋਟਾ ਹੀ ਆ ਤੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਖਲੋਣਾ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਜੀ। So that was just a few disciplinary announcement from me in my own language, which is Punjabi. वाहिगुरू जी का खालसा वाहिगुरू जी की फतेह। First of all, thanks a lot to all of you to be here in this weather to celebrate a very important, a very significant function for all of us, and that is the inauguration of this kitchen facility. The people who know me, they know me very well that for such a big gathering, I do not need really a mic. I'm such a loud person, but today my throat is not me. And I need a mic. So I hope that everyone in the rear can hear me. All right, thank you. So we will begin the inauguration with the acknowledgement of the country, and I pay my respects to the Bunburong and the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, the nation on which we are meeting today, and I pay my respect, all of our respect to their present, past, and the future, to the emerging leaders as well. Now, most of you know Sikh Volunteers Australia from quite a long time. Since 2014, this organization is serving the humanity. In the beginning, we were serving the humanity in the form of volunteer services, and since 2017, we started free food van services. In the beginning, it was only 2 days a week, Wednesdays and Saturdays. And as the resources developed, as the community support has been developed, we kept on increasing these services. During 2019 Belyea bushfire, we first time got the experience to serve the communities in disasters, in a phase where this food service is required in more abundance. And we realized that if we develop in the same path, probably we can develop this service into a very effective and meaningful services. And in order to do that, we kept on hiring the kitchens. Various kitchens we have hired. I believe 5 kitchen facilities till date we have hired. Most of them were in the KC Council. And finally, our search for our own facility ends up here in Frankston, in Langwarrin suburb, in 2022. And we purchased this facility with the support of the whole community. In 2021, before we purchased this facility, it was a massive amount to pay off, which still is not being paid. It's on the loan. We raised a fundraiser, and with the God's grace and the support of the whole Australian community, in just 3.5 days, we raised $640,000. That was initially paid as a first deposit for this facility. When we came to this facility, it has various buildings, including this one in which we are standing now, and it was a reception center at that time. And we realized that we can convert it into a meaningful facility that can keep on providing the resources, the services that we want to provide back into the community. The reception center we are standing in today was actually for 150 people. It was only last week I was speaking to someone and the lady was telling me, they run actually an event business, and she was telling me, oh, I used to go to this facility before you guys purchased it, and I decorated. It already had a kitchen. Why you are building up a new one? I said the previous kitchen is now just a dishwashing area. And she says, what happened to the reception center? I said, that's now the kitchen actually. So she was pretty amazed on that. And this morning when she was doing some decoration for us, she herself couldn't believe that such a massive facility that we have produced and constructed up here. Yes, we all have paid a big part in that. State government had paid $250,000 for the kitchen facility and another $500,000 for the mobile food truck that you are seeing now standing outside. And at the same time, our federal Australian government has paid $700,000 for this kitchen facility. And I guarantee you that each and every dollar is well spent and accounted for. But apart from the both government and our local government as well, the council, a very big part is being played by our volunteers, without which this could never be achievable. I'm going to give you a very small example that how our volunteers had not just paid human hours contribution in this facility, but also the skills and mindset. The garden lights that you are seeing outside this facility that lights up in the evening and make this whole thing look like a heaven. When we first take the quote for those garden lights, we were being quoted $2,000 per light, and then another $2,200 for the installation. Altogether, we were looking at $4,200 just for one lamp. 30 of them were required. You can do the mathematics. My one is very poor. It was well above $200,000. And by looking at those figures, we initially dropped the idea. We don't want the garden lights. Leave it. We can work without them. And then these volunteers of ours, Lakhvinder Singh, Tajinder Singh, Manjeet Singh, Navinder Singh ji, Manpreet Singh ji, they all come up with a very wonderful idea. They say, check where from they are getting the lamps. Obviously, they are not getting made in Australia. So we actually try to find it out, where they're getting it from. And we find the source. And we actually dealt with the source directly. We cut off all the middlemen. And you won't believe, when we give them the quantity that we want 30 lamps, our thinking was that this is very low quantity, but they say, oh, that's a good order. We can provide you all the lamps landed at your facility, including the transport, in $200. 1/10 of the cost. That is the contribution of the volunteers. Now, one part is solved. The second one was how to install them. And again, these volunteers then come up with a fantastic idea, with a fantastic engineering, which is much more robust and grounded than the previous installers. And all together on the installation, where we were supposed to spend $2,200 per lamp, we spend only $400 a lamp. So you can imagine what contribution volunteers would make to the facility. And that's why I can say for sure with a guarantee that each and every dollar is accounted and very well spent in this facility. Now, coming back to the services that we were provided, and before we do that, I need to, most of you already know, but who don't, I want to introduce them to a term, and that is called Deg, Teg, Fateh. 3 words. Deg, Teg, and Fateh. If you go towards the literal meaning of these words, Deg means food, or actually the utensil, the big one in which the food is cooked. That is the literal meaning. Teg means a sword, or basically an arm. And Fateh means victory. So if you go by the literal meaning of the thing, it means victory to the food and arms. But that doesn't make much sense, isn't it? Because it has a symbolic meaning, and the symbolic meaning is towards our duty to protect and provide food for the needy and oppressed people who cannot protect themselves. That is our duty. That means Deg, Teg, Fateh. And with this motto, we have designed this kitchen facility with all the lessons that we have learned during the COVID pandemic lockdowns. Remember, 1.5 meter distancing rule, gathering rule. Yeah, so we learned from those lessons, and this facility, which is designed with the help of all volunteers, have all the lessons learned encompassed in this facility, that God forbid, if we ever go again into any pandemic, then this facility can work according to those regulations and still can produce around 8,000 meals, yes, 8,000 meals at 80% efficiency, only with 6 to 10 volunteers. That is the size and capacity of this facility. In this facility, we have state-of-the-art equipment, thanks to both levels of our government, which had made it possible. And it's a complete self-sufficient building. If somebody is working inside this kitchen facility, they don't need to go any other part of this facility. All the things that they need, groceries, dishwashing, cleaning, laundry, everything, including printing as well, is provided within this facility. So that's how self-sufficient this facility is. All of these are possible because of your support. Now, while we are doing the thanks, I want to do a special thanks as well, and that's the state government of Victoria. And that thanks is for the approval of fit mask testing, which was a very big hurdle for the people of the faith communities with the facial hairs to work in the health sector. It was a long overdue matter, and we are very happy that our Jacinta Allen government has finally resolved it. And now with this resolvement, even in the future, if we ever go into such situation, we have a permanent concrete solution that will not compromise the belief and the faith of any individual who wants to work in the health sector. Thank you. And I think I was speaking to Jodie earlier, and she says, can you go through the run sheet of this thing? I said, yes. In a nutshell, I can say that we will inaugurate it, we will say words of thanks, and we will ask for the more support, without which it cannot complete. So, and yes, that's actually true. As I said to Jodie earlier, when we plant a seed, we need to provide that seed the correct nourishment as well. We are planting our roots, a new faith-based community planting its roots into Australian society, and we need that maybe an extra support and nourishment from both levels of the government, actually from all levels of the government, including our council. It's not ambition of just Sikh Volunteers Australia, but it is a very long overdue project. And the project is of Sikh Grammar School, a school that can provide education as per the state curriculum, but through Sikh way of life. It would be for everyone. And today, on this occasion, on this very auspicious occasion, I will say, we are actually formally declaring that we going to build up a Sikh grammar school in the southeastern suburbs of the Victoria. This will be the first one. This will be the first one in Australia, if it opens on the time. The project duration is 4 years. And as per our initial calculations, the budget of the project is around $56 million from start to end, including a kinder, a primary, and a college facility with state-of-art equipment again. And we need support, a massive support from all levels of the government, especially from state and the federal government. And another thing that we really want to accomplish in this building, in this whole site, maybe you have already noticed that there are a couple of buildings in this facility. The building that is right opposite to us, that one, we are developing that facility into an emergency relief accommodation. God forbid if a disaster hit us, Mornington, Peninsula, Shire, Frankston, Casey, Gardenia, Dandenong, if anything happens in that area, we are working with alongside of Victorian Emergency Services. And we have already given them our address. We are about to register with them as well. And we are now in position to hold around 150 individuals for an extended period of time. We have one big hall there. We have 10 rooms. Each room and hall is fitted with air cons, televisions. We have 2 playgrounds in this facility so that if somebody is staying here, apologies, their stay is as comfortable as possible. And for the time being they are staying with us, we could make them actually forget about the disaster they are going through. But currently that building is made up of temporary material, which is hot in summer and cold in winter. Not a very good combination when we want to provide a good, dedicated recreational and emergency accommodation. Sorry. And for that, we want to convert this building into a brick and cement building. And again, a massive fund is required for that. Like previously, we have knocked the doors. We have did our fundraising. But for such big and ambitious projects, always the support of the government is required. Also, we have a chapel on this facility, which is 99 years old. Being a place of worship, which is in the very end of the building, on our side tour, we will go there. And we will actually have a look at that. Being a place of worship, I guarantee you, as soon as you step in that inside that building, you'll feel the aura. The comfort that building is still providing. And our plan is to keep the respect and aura of that building as it is. And that's why we have decided to convert it into a library. That way, it will keep on feeding the purpose for the generations to come. And we, again, need support for that as well. And with this, I request all of you, when you go back, look at your daswan, the 10th part of your honest earned income, which we donate towards the charity, and all of you provide a little bit towards it. While we are celebrating this beautiful day, while we are enjoying the facilities here, and while we are trying to establish the multicultural harmony of this beautiful country, Australia, sometimes things happen that tend to destroy that peace and harmony. The recent incident that has happened in the Perth, but has shaken the roots of our multicultural society. I feel very overwhelmed even to speak about it. Might be you have already noticed that how we treat our sacred religious texts. It's a living guru for us. Our day and night, our soul, our life, nothing else. And how can somebody tear it? Literally page by page. How can? Today it has happened with us. But tomorrow it can happen with anyone. It could be Bible next time, or the Torah, or the Gita, anything. And we don't want it. And we will fight for it. We will fight to get strong laws against the vilification, so that if ever anyone even think about it to destroy our multicultural harmony, they know that there are laws and they have to face the consequences of that. We will very soon release a white paper to get present in both levels of our government, and we will request for the strong laws. Vilification Act currently is present in Western Australia and in Victoria, but the acts need to get more stronger. And in order to get cover whole of Australia, maybe we need a federal law, so that each and every faith-based community in the whole of Australia will get be permitted and protected against such things. Now, not taking a further time of all of you, I really thank you for being here. I really thank you for providing such a valuable support for getting this thing here, getting all these services here. And after all the formal proceedings are finished, I will say all the guests to get clustered into one group, and then we will go for a site tour where I will try to showcase you all the components in a little bit more in detail. And with this, I request Mr. Julian here to please come on the stage and say the good words.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Can I just, before I make the remarks I was going to, I just want to address that last point, because it is a very serious point. Let me respond to that, and then we'll be happy again and talk about this wonderful facility. The incident that happened in the Perth Gurdwara was disgraceful. Un-Australian is a phrase that I tend not to use. It can be overused by politicians, but if anything in our modern multi-country is un-Australian, it's disrespecting someone's core beliefs and faith in a way which is not legitimate debate about different belief structures. It was designed to cause offence and vilify someone else's religion. I was in Perth last week. I visited and spent time with the Gurdwara committee, and we talked about these issues. They said to me that they're very pleased now with the response from the West Australian government, that charges have been brought, as you say, and we need to let the courts do their job. Obviously in Australia, I understand when people are rightly upset, sometimes there's calls for politicians to determine sentences and so on, decide these things. That's not how our country works, and I think we know that, but the courts need to do their job. The second point I would make, I would encourage everyone, and particularly you, Jaswinder, and the Sikh volunteers and the community leaders, to make a submission to the Senate inquiry. The government introduced, coincidentally actually, legislation just a few weeks ago into the National Parliament to introduce Commonwealth criminal offences for acts like that incite violence. There are constitutional questions in Australia as to whether the government nationally can introduce all of the laws that you're talking about. Some of those things in our structure of government sit with the state and territory governments, but I just wanted to reassure you that the government is taking that seriously. I encourage you to submit to the laws, and without getting too political here, I'd also encourage you to pressure the Greens political party and the Liberal Party to stop delaying. We want to see these laws passed this year, and they've said they're not going to report till at least next February. That's not good enough. We want pressure on all political parties across the parliament. This shouldn't be a partisan thing, so we can strengthen our laws, as you say. The other thing on a policy matter that I just want to address is really to congratulate you and everyone involved in the Sikh medical community for campaigning for so many years to get the health standards in Victoria aligned for people with facial hair. Pauline is smiling because I know you did so much work on this, and many of us advocated over so many months and few years now since COVID, but it really is a win for the community for doing the scientific research and finding the safe way to do it. So a big congratulations and thank you, Jaswinder, for your leadership. Oh, is that working? I can still do this, that's all right? Yeah, all right, you have that. You hold that. All right. Can I acknowledge firstly and thank everyone involved in the Sikh Volunteers Australia Committee for the incredible amount of work that you've done to get us to this point where finally, I've toured the site a number of times, but finally we're here inaugurating this wonderful new kitchen, which is going to enable you to live your values even more and feed people in need right across our community. Can I acknowledge, as we do on formal occasions, the Bunurong people of the Kulin Nation and pay my respects to their elders past and present. As I look across the room and, in this community, you are modern multicultural Australia, the very best of it. You've come to this country, you're getting involved in every part of our national life, and you're living your values and faith in a way which many talk about, but the Sikh community actually do. Australia is an ancient land, and our communities, First Nations people, spoke more than 250 languages. We've always been a multicultural continent, and Sikh Australians have recorded history here from the 1800s. But it's in the last 2 decades that migration from Sikh community has really exploded. We've now got more than 200,000 Australians professing the Sikh faith, nearly half of those here in our state of Victoria, one of the fastest growing communities that we have. It was probably in the last 10 or 15 years, though, that the whole Australian community came to know and love you. From the work that you did visibly with the bushfire relief, and then week in, week out through COVID, feeding people and taking the meals to people's houses who could not leave their home, and then, of course, with the floods. I know you're out and about with the food van a few times a week, and then down at the Gurdwaras, of course, every day there's Langwarrin welcoming anyone from the community. I really want to thank you for living your values, and I've come to learn from your community about Guru Nanak Dev Ji's philosophy. 555 years, I think, this year. It was the 550th in 2019, just before COVID. The teachings are a source of inspiration to this day. Equality, social justice, rejecting religious hatred, and that view that actions are more important than words. What really matters is living your values. It's coming down, it's putting in your time, it's donating part of your income for those who need help. Guru Nanak's teachings have built over the generations a community of social activists, and we see this here today, to help people who need it, and a good life is lived within and part of a community. So before the last federal election, when Jaswinder and I were talking and he showed us his vision, I was absolutely delighted to work with then the late Peter Murphy and now Jodie continuing her work and the federal government to get the commitment. And I also recognise the opposition who then matched the commitment, which shows a breadth of bipartisan support for the work that you're doing here. Now, I don't want to disappoint you. I've heard all the other things that we need to do. I haven't bought the checkbook from Canberra, but the Prime Minister, we did bring him down to Visaki to celebrate the 10th anniversary, and he sends his best regards to you. I know that as you go forward and come up with more projects, that governments will be there to play our part and help, particularly seeing the incredible generosity of the community who donate so much to make facilities like this happen. So thank you very much. I'll leave it to you to acknowledge all of my colleagues here. It'll take too long. I just see Cassandra, the member for Holt, Jodie, the member for Dunkley, Jason Wood, where were you? Up there, Jason, the member for Latrobe, as well as so many of our state parliamentary colleagues. So thank you very much. It's an honour to have been able to play a part in providing this support, and I wish everyone a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Julian, I request you to please stay for a little longer. I have brief Singh will present you with a robe of honour and a bouquet.
Thank you.
Bwe Thay. Mr. Julian, our photographer is asking for another photograph.
Don't upset the photographer.
With this, I request Jodie to please come and say the greetings to the community. Thank you.
Thanks, Jasminda, and thank you to Julian, my colleague. It's an absolute honour to be here today and to have the invitation amongst my colleagues at a state and federal level to be part of the opening of this kitchen. Siwa means selfless service, and what I see in this community as I look out to the sea of people is a group, a community that has dedicated many hours to creating a vision and having this kitchen built. So congratulations to all of you for your commitment to serving people in the community by providing food for those that are struggling and also to communities during times of need with natural disasters. You've done an incredible job, and I'm very interested to see, to taste some food one day, but also to see the vision that you have for this incredible organisation and property to be fulfilled with support from so many community organisations and government. So I'm not going to say much more other than it's an absolute privilege to be here today amongst you all and to be part of your culture. So thank you.
Thank you, Jodie. Thanks a lot. Please stay a little longer. Now, by Harpreet Singh Ji, our community elder will present you with a robe of honour. Bole Sonehale. Miss Jodie, you can smile a little. Mr. Jason Wood, please come to the stage. Thank you. How are you, sir?
Very good. My feet are cold. Good to see you.
I will say take 2 Panadols in the evening.
Akaal, fantastic to be here. Thank you very much. Amazing day. Congratulations, Javinder Singh. And in actual fact, people don't know this, but sometimes at the political level, we actually make agreements. And last time, Julian Hill said we're going to both fund this he was from the Labor Party and us from the Liberal Party, $700,000. So it's got recognition from all levels of government. We're very excited to be here today. And can I just say, in regard to the situation in Perth, I put out a statement regarding that, and all of us agree from all sides of politics. It was an awful thing to happen. But what makes up for those awful events, which are very few in Australia, is magnificent events like this. And to be here today and to see the kitchen and having, knowing, for example, you have the CFA here, police, and also SES, because all our emergency service workers recognise the great commitment from Sikh Volunteers Australia. When you go out in those times of emergencies, whether it be bushfires and floods, etc., just anyone can come here anytime and get a meal. Now, I did actually go to Delhi last year, the Gurdwara, and I was telling them about your facility here. I don't think that they really want to see, because it's looking quite magnificent, and you should be very proud of it. Now, I just want to acknowledge a few people here today, because I'm not sure how many members of Parliament are going to be able to speak, but we've got Jodie here as the local MP, also at the federal level, Cassandra, Fernando. I've got Pauline Richardson, Lee Tarlamis, Dr. Renee, Heath, and Anne-Marie Hermans from the Liberal side, Jordan Crugnale, Belinda Wilson, Paul Enbrock, Gary Muss, and Frankston Mayor Nathan Conroy, Mornington Mayor Simon Brooks. Can I just say to the Sikh community, to have three levels of government here from both sides, all sides of politics. It just shows how supportive we all are of what you do to make Australia the greatest place on earth to live. I saw your big checklist of things, and I'm glad I'm in opposition at the moment because I very much look forward to our state and federal guys supporting you. But everyone supports the Sikh community. Keep up the great work, and thanks for having us here today.
Thank you, Mr. Jason. Thanks a lot. Please stay a little longer. A word of a robe of honor for you, Mr. Jason, please. Thank you. Stay a little longer. We will take a few photographs as well.
Thank you so much.
With this, I request Federal MP Cassandra Fernando to please come forward. Judy, can you answer? All right.
Akaal, everyone, and good afternoon. My name is Cassandra Fernando, and I'm the Federal Member for Holt. What an honour it is for all of us to be here today to celebrate the inauguration of this incredible new kitchen. I remember in November of last year, I got to see the construction of this kitchen, and it was amazing. It looks so beautiful. As a qualified chef and a pastry chef, I am loving this. This is home to me. This kitchen stands as a symbol of our shared commitment of caring for one another, especially in times of need. To every volunteer and supporter, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude. Your dedication and hard work have made this day possible. This facility is a shining example of what we can achieve together with a common purpose. I'm proud to stand with my good friend Jasvinder and the Sikh volunteers. The best thing about this country, I'm a migrant, I'm sure most of you are. The best thing about this country is we get to celebrate our religion, our culture, and our traditions. You might be in a new country, but don't ever forget where you come from. And that's all I can say, but congratulations. And I'm so proud to see this place. And as a person who's very religious, I'm glad that you're turning the chapel into a library. I have a library in my house, so it's one of my places of where I can just relax and thank God for everything that we have. So thank you very much. God bless you all.
Thank you. Now we'll present the bouquet and a robe of honor to Cassandra as well. Thanks, Cassandra. Please stay a little longer. Thank you.
I'll get one as well in front. This one. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Paul Mercurio, please. MP Hastings, our good friend. Last time he was here, this kitchen was still under construction, and he was looking at the size of the kettles, and he was looking at it and say, "What you guys are going to cook inside?" I said, "Not what you're thinking. They're just for food."
Thank you, Jaswinder, and good morning, I think. Is it still morning? Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon. Jaswinder and Julian, thank you so much for your acknowledgement to country today. Very expensive speech, Jaswinder. very expensive. But I know everyone in this room heard you loud and clear, and will be supporting you. I'm very happy to be here as the member for Hastings, which takes in this area, but I'm also here representing the Minister for Carers and Volunteers, Rod Spence, and she wanted me to pass on her congratulations and hope that you had a wonderful day. When I was driving in here today, it was raining, and I thought, oh, Ros wanted us to have a great day and it's raining. But I thought to myself, there are two things in life that will stop the world going round if they cease to exist. And that's rain and volunteers. So I thank you for your generosity and for your giving. I was here, in fact, first time I came here was 2 years ago when I was endorsed as the candidate. It was the first time I met Pauline, and I think Julian, yourself. And we came here, we toured the facilities, and the then Premier Daniel Andrews announced some funding. So it's brilliant to be back here 2 years later. People say things don't happen fast in government. Well, this was pretty fast. and it's an incredible facility. They've gone from, I believe, just into making maybe 3,000 meals to be able to make 8,000 meals. What's significant about that is when I cook with love. And I have no doubt that every one of the 8,000 meals are cooked with love by each and every person who is here today. There's a lot more I could say, but I did want to say something about, you talked about rain being the gift of life. Rain comes down, hits the ground, nourishes the soil, grows the seeds into produce. Seek Volunteers Australia takes that produce, cooks beautiful food, and then takes that out and nourishes and grows not just my soul, but that nourishes and grows and feeds the souls of all of our communities. I thank you for your leadership. I thank you for your generosity, and I thank you for your humanity, and I thank you for your kindness.
Thank you.
Mr. Paul, please receive your robe of honor. And as you already stated that my speech was expensive, I'm going to make it a little more expensive now. So we were thinking about this from quite a few years I will say, and we realized that our coming generation, I tell you about myself, how I was being raised. We used to play in the streets. And when we were playing in the streets, we learned how to work in a team, how to resolve our conflicts, and how to work together. However, most of the generation these days are living digitally, and that part is absent. Apart from that, more of them is like, if we need food, we go to the supermarket, we pay with a card, and food is there. There is no respect there for what we are eating. That's why we believe we are looking at so much wastage. So we come up with a very ambitious idea, and we stated that, okay, we are from the farming community. And again, if state government can help us, we want to have a farm of our own, where we actually want to teach our kids how to do the farming. Learn how a bag of chips that you eat comes from. So much effort, and that way you will learn the respect for that food. So if you can pass on my regards to for the minister, we will love to see that as well.
I will, but I'm leaving now before you ask for any more.
Thank you, Mr. Paul. And now I will request some very good friends, some members of parliament, and mayors to please come to the stage. Mr. Lee, please. Pauline, please. Jordan Crugnale, please. And I should say that getting approval of the fit mass testing was not an easy task. A lot of advocacy was required, and part of our advocacy group were the people who are standing in front of you. I will request Anne-Marie Hermans to please come. Dr. Renee Heath, please. Mr. Mayor, please. Mr. Mayor Frankston and Mr. Mayor Mornington. Mr. Simon Brooks and Mr. Nathan Conroy. And while you are looking at this wonderful group, I can say you from my heart that all of these beautiful people, regardless of which political party they are coming from, they are very good friends of ours. They have provided the support in the very best way they can, and we keep on hoping the same from all of you in the future as well. And we want to provide you with a robe of honor. Please, thank you. Mr. Photographer, sir, how would you like? A group photograph or an individual?
As we wish. Okay. We will take a group one. We will take a group one.
Yes, you can.
So. Okay. Please decide. Yes, we will manage. We'll manage. No worries. Mr. Can you please come here? Please, in the middle. Yes, in the middle, yeah. Mr. Sir, please come here.
Can you move back, please? Move back, please. Everybody, move a bit backward, please.
Just one photograph. Yeah, just like that. I'll help you. No, that's absolutely fine. Absolutely fine.
Yeah. That's your space. Thank you.
Okay. If we have a space, can we step backwards? One step, please. One step backwards. Is it good enough? Oh. Okay, 1, 2, 3, cheese! A big one!
I'll take one.
We can look at the kitchen, yeah? And with this, I request our emergency staff, service staffs to please come forward. SES, CFA, ambulance, please. Everyone, make room for them as well, please. Please come forward. I'm very sure we have enough bouquets, but I will first ask you to get into your units. We want to regard you for all the services that you provide. Being a kitchen facility, we have a lot of hazards here. We really hope we never need your service here, but in case we need, you know the facility now. So please come forward in your units, please. Can we move one step backward, please? Can we move one step backward? So, which is your unit? Please come this side.
Everybody has to get out. Yeah, now it's
A collective. All together. I know representatives of MyTech are here as well. Representatives of MyTech, I request them to please come forward. Janin, if you can hear me. Please don't shy. Come forward. Okay, now we are getting the photograph. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Oh no, this is the second unit. This is another unit.
We can go?
Okay, Herman, beta age aajo, forward aajo, aithe aajo. Come here. Yes, there you go. Nico, Lane, please come here. That's right. Thank you. Thanks a lot, everyone. Thank you. Thanks for your cooperation. Thank you. I really don't know which unit is next. Fire? All right, please come forward. Please, sir. Aja, Munaj. Aja. I request our volunteers to recognize these faces. And I want you to pray that you never need to see them in a bad time. माड़ा जा चुप दा दान भी बख्शो जी, please. I believe SES is the next. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Malvina is leading the crew. Malvina is leading the crew. SES unit, please come forward. बच्चों माड़े माड़े जे पीछे चले जाओ, पुत माड़े माड़े जे पीछे चले जाओ. संगत जी थोड़ी देर चुप दा दान बख्शो जी, थोड़ी देर चुप दा दान बख्शो जी. दो. Mr. David, please come this side. Mr. Damien is from Narre Warren SES unit, and he wears many hats actually, many hats. And I'm proud to say that Mr. Damien is not just providing us the services, but is also a very good friend of mine. Thank you, Mr. Damien. Your friendship is very valuable for us. Thank you, sir. Please. Okay, please. सारे दे सारे बच्चे ऐसा लाइन बनाओ मेरे. शाबाश. Come on, come on, come on, everyone. Everyone, stay. Come on.
बैठो थले छोटे बच्चे बैठो छोटे बच्चे बैठो अच्छा छोटे बच्चे करो.
And I want to tell all the kids, it was surprise, but I'm going to tell you, some of the special services have bring something for you. Yeah. Later on you will find it.
इधर देखो सारे 1 2 3 इधर कैमरा में.
Ambulance Victoria. I request the representatives of Ambulance Victoria to please come forward. Now after this I will request the representatives of MyTech to please come forward. Now about the MyTech, it is a industry, a corporate facility that is donating to Sikh Volunteers Australia abundance of groceries annually, and we really thank for your cooperation. Please sir. और एक शॉट. Jerry, please come back. Apologies, my bad. I forgot something. Bole Sonehal. And with this, I request all the members of parliament, all member parliaments who are still here, to please come close to the inauguration curtain. Member parliament, mayor, if you are still here, please come close to the inauguration curtain. Please come close to the inauguration curtain. Member parliament, Mr. Mayor, please come close to the inauguration curtain. Member Parliament, Mr. Jason, are you still here? Cassandra?
They're gossiping in the kitchen.
Oh.
Here we are.
Member Parliament, Miss Anne Mary Hermans, Dr. Renee Heath, Mr. Jason, Mr. Mayor, if you are still here, please come forward, please. Cassandra Fernando, MP, Cranbourne, please come forward. Please. Everyone. Mr. Nathan Conroy, if you are still here, please come forward. Please come
I can't hear you.
Backdrop.
Make another promise. Sorry.
Okay. And now I request Mr. Julian to please inaugurate the kitchen
Let's
for
do a
him.
countdown. 3,
2, 1. Yay! Police Multicultural! Police Multicultural! And with this, I request all our esteemed guests to please form a group so we can begin a side tour. And we will aim to finish the side tour as quickly as possible, not taking much of your time. And I thank everyone to be here today. Before the side tour, we can go through the kitchen right now. And after that, if you are in a hurry, you can leave, or if you want, you can go and put on your shoes again. Thank you. We have langar here today as well. You're more than welcome to please stay with us for the langar as well. The food is here, and if you can stay a little longer with us, we will really like to serve you.
You know, are we all in? I'm good, yeah.
MP ne.
Oh, right. Okay. Where's Jodie? Jodie, come on. Cassandra, do you want to come down the front? Because I can't fit you all in. Do you want to come just a bit forward as well? Why are you going to do a selfie? Thank you. I'm Jodie. Nice to meet you. Where did you get your jacket from? Did Cassandra get them? Where?